Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
Live from the Sugar Shack, Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, Brad Thompson, God's Garage. We'll get you updated. Well, actually, let me just read this. In our second segment, we know you dated her at least once.
What?
Jeff has a feature on Test Dummies.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, okay. About all the generations of test.
Well, just a little brief interlude.
That was supposed to be funny, and you went to the thinking side of it. Why?
Yeah, no, because it's
Because it's him.
Yeah.
Because I'm me.
Conrad has the racing calendar, we hope, and the car clinic. We'll also have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. It just can't get any better on this edition of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars, Mr. Knowledge, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Dziekan. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. If you're wondering why we're not at the Tailpipes and Tacos event that we had promoted for months on end, we decided that we weren't going to do that because there was a chance of rain. And when we all got up this morning or were awakened by the booming thunder and the driving rain, we found out that was probably a smart move. Now Stan has texted and said, "Oh, we made a mistake." I don't think we did.
No,
I know that the weather's beautiful right now.
You stick by your decision.
Yeah, it's blue skies.
Yep.
Looking at me.
But
blue skies
it was unfortunate that had to happen this way because we were really looking forward to it. You in particular.
Yeah, but you can still get out to Lupe Tortilla. You can still go out there and enjoy the day.
That's right.
Still go out there and have nice lunches.
But at any rate, so Brad Thompson with God's Garage, who is going to benefit from today's big Tailpipes and Tacos cruise in, had a chat with Stan yesterday afternoon, I understand, Brad.
Yeah, I stick by his decision. I got up at 6 this morning and looked at the radar, and man, it didn't look good. I'm down in San Leon. I'm actually at the Smoke and Mirrors Mobile Studio, Avenue A in San Leon.
There you go.
So I'm down here. I thought, well, why waste a good cancellation? So I'm down here working on a warehouse that we're building in San Leon, just about 2 miles from Topwater, where you guys were.
So that's the excuse that you're using.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Well, you didn't bring to the forefront that you brought all of your fishing gear and your 40-foot cabin cruiser.
There you go.
And you're going to put it in the water down there.
And your deck hands.
Now, my 40-foot cabin cruiser has wheels, and that's what I'm sitting in. I don't have one on the water, and I have been sitting on a compactor vibrating my teeth out all morning long. So I took a break from that to come over here and jump on with you guys.
No, we appreciate that. And it's blue skies there now, right?
Well, it's nice. I'd turn the camera around, but it'd wad out the whole video. But it's nice down here now. But I looked at that radar this morning. It was awful. So. Yeah. Too bad. We'll do it again. But, man, we really look forward to that, and we really appreciate, I saw the text from Stan yesterday that said, "Please call me." I'm like, oh, boy. That's never good when someone says, "Please call me." So
yeah, well, because I actually didn't talk to him, but we exchanged texts, and when he asked me for your contact information, which he didn't have on his phone, I gave it to him, and I thought, I got a feeling that this is not going to be good for any of us as far as the event is concerned, and it will be rescheduled. And I'll talk to Stan this week. We'll come up with a date, and we'll do it all over again. At least try.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Hey, you guys mentioned in the ad right before I came on, you mentioned the Mecum auction. The board chairman before I became board chairman, his name's Ted Wyrick. He has a Kaiser Darren in the Mecum auction today. That's lot 204, I believe. So it'll probably be later in the day today on Mecum. It is, if you haven't seen a Kaiser Darren, those are the coolest looking cars. I can understand. They don't look like the most safe things in the world because they look like a little shell, but they have pocket doors. He's got that thing running, and he's got one in the auction today. So it'd be pretty neat to see.
Yeah, no kidding. So
I've had a Kaiser Darren and unicorn hunting. very, very cool the way the door slides back into the quarter panel.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, God's Garage today, we're having a seminar today. We had a lot going on today. We had the car show we were going to do with you guys. The ladies that are applicants, they're going through a seminar today. So they're probably middle of the seminar right now. And they're going through life skill training. So they're going through budgeting and, resume writing and how to dress and talk about yourself in a resume and how to buy the right cell phone plan. But the biggest thing I think that they get, and we've always kind of highlighted this part of the ministry, all these ladies are required to go through the seminar before we can give them a car away or before we can actually service their car. That what they learn is they're not alone. They learn, hey, I feel like I'm the only one that doesn't have a car and I'm having to put my kids in a metro bus to go to the grocery store. And they learn they're not alone. And man, the ladies we have, the volunteers we have, they just love on them. They show them the love of Christ. And it's just an amazing thing. They walk away so re-energized about the potential they have in their life, knowing that it won't be long and they'll have a car or their car that they have will get fixed. And it's a really neat thing. We don't let the guys go to the seminars because it's a pretty sensitive, event for the ladies that are there. But I've heard the stories and it's pretty incredible.
Well, explain to the folks that don't really know, what is God's Garage? What do you do?
Yeah, I thought we usually start with that, don't we? But so godsgarage.org is our website. Anything I forget to say, you can find out there. But we're a nonprofit up in Conroe. We take in donated vehicles, running or not. We repair them if we can. If not, we salvage them. But we repair as many as we can. And then we give them away to single moms, widows, and wives of deployed military in the greater Houston area. And then, like I said, we will also fix a woman's car in that same audience. We'll fix their car if they have a car that the AC's gone out. And, and we have gotten so much better. Justin Coggins is our new executive director, and he's gotten us to the point now where when a lady applies for service, we get to them within a month. It used to be, it took several months just because our processes were so scattered. But now, what good's it do? You come, hey, my air conditioner doesn't work in Houston, and we get to you in January. So we get to all of those within a month. So it's amazing. We'll do 60 of those a year, 60 to 80, maybe 100. We'll probably give away over 100 cars this year, I think is the pace we're on.
Wow. And then the cars that you give away start as a donation. So I've posted up your website on our social media. So if anybody's interested in making a donation of a vehicle or cash donation, and that cash goes to this same process, they're more than welcome to go to the website and do that. But I think it's pretty cool that you'll start with a donated vehicle, not necessarily knowing the condition of it, but it goes through a pretty good inspection by your crew there to make sure that the car is safe, secure, and dependable for the recipient of the vehicle, because the dependability is what's most important, because having a car doesn't do you any good if you can't take it to a job.
Right, exactly. And you always fill in the blanks that I leave out, Conrad. I appreciate that. So, but yeah, it's a neat process. We have two different evaluations. We have a 40-year ASE certified mechanic that's on our staff. We only have 5 employees. We have anywhere from 125 to 150 different volunteers in a year. And we got the new shop up. I think we've shown that a few times now.
Yep.
It is awesome, man. And we just got air conditioning put in, which was a major win. We figured that out and got a couple folks to step forward and pool some money together. And now we have a air-conditioned and heated shop, man. You can't beat that.
Makes a huge difference for the technicians while they're working
Absolutely.
on something, and it's 80 degrees versus 120 degrees.
And there's still shops in town that don't have air conditioning.
Most shops don't.
They don't.
Brad,
Yeah, for-profit shops. Yeah.
One of the things that I wanted to bring up is the fact that I hear an awful lot and see an awful lot of requests to donate cars. There are different avenues to donate cars. And what would you say to somebody that is looking to donate a car, but there are all these choices to donate? Why would I want to donate to God's Garage? What makes you guys any different than say the Salvation Army, or pick a charity?
Well, there's a couple of things. Almost just about, I don't know of any other ministry or nonprofit that asks for your car that actually intends for your car to live on, and with its purpose. Our intention on every car that gets donated to us is to repair that car, get it inspected, get it, like Conrad's saying, get it roadworthy. Hopefully it lasts another year or 2 or 3. But your car is going to continue to help somebody as a car. Everybody else will salvage that vehicle. Some of them don't even touch the vehicle themselves. There's a salvage service they can use, but they'll go through one of those. They turn it into cash, and then they turn it into whatever their mission is. So that's one thing. The second thing is we're here and we're local. So if you're going to donate your car, now we can pick up a car anywhere in the country. More than likely, if it's farther away than Austin or College Station or San Antonio, we're not going to see that car. It's not going to be any different. I know you have a broad audience, but if you're not local to Houston, we're probably not going to pick it up. We'll turn it to cash like everybody else. But local to Houston, not only will your car turn into somebody else's car, if we can repair your car and it gets given away, we will invite you to come to the gifting. So you can actually meet the person, and they can say thank you in person for giving your car to us, so we can turn it into their car to enrich their lives. And we know that the lack of reliable transportation is the number one hindrance to bring people out of, I don't want to say poverty, but to help them elevate their lifestyle.
Yeah,
improve their lifestyle.
And that's pretty cool.
Well, the other thing is the opening page to your website is photographs of this gifting day, I'm assuming, as you guys were giving the car and all the people that are gathered around. So people can go online and look at who you've helped and what you've done and what types of cars that you've given away.
Yeah.
But, you're not looking for a 1964 Chevy Impala with a 327 and a 4-barrel on it. You're looking for...
We'll take it.
Yeah. but you're looking for something that can be pure, reliable transportation after somebody spends some time reworking whatever the issue may be, because most people are giving away a car that they're having problems with or just doesn't meet their lifestyle anymore. And that's really what you're looking for in those cars.
So Conrad, I'm sorry, Jeff.
Sure.
We had somebody donate a '67 Mustang a couple years ago.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
And we sold, and it was there were parts in the trunk, didn't run, tires were flat. We sold that car for $7,000.
Wow.
And the person we sold it to has repaired it. It's their daily driver. So we have a boat sitting there right now. We have a VTX 1800 Honda motorcycle. We will take anything of value that's a vehicle. But you are correct. Our main gifting, or our main vehicles we want to see, is something that's either roadworthy, and can be barely roadworthy, or barely not roadworthy, and we'll fix it. We salvage about 65% of the donations that come to us.
Wow.
Sorry, Jeff.
No, I was going to say, how many cars have you gifted over the course of God's Garage program?
Man, the number's probably around 500 now.
Wow.
We started doing this back in 2010. We formally became a nonprofit in 2016. I can tell you in the last 3 years, I know we've given away pretty much 100 every year. And I know we had 1 year we gave away 120, I believe. So it's probably north of 500 now. I probably should know that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, fantastic.
And that's a huge impact on the people you've given the car to, but also the community that person lives in as well, because now they become an
advocate.
An advocate, but they also become a taxpayer as well. Yeah.
Well, it's funny, as usually it's hard for me to kind of maintain my composure, as you guys have seen me do several times, especially in the grand opening. But the people that cry the most are the relatives that have been carting somebody around for, a year or two, or however long that person hasn't. They're the one that has to come get them and take their kids to the doctor. Or, man, I tell you, the people that have provided that person transportation are just as emotional, if not more emotional, than the person actually getting the car.
Do you still stay in touch with those that you've gotten donated cars to?
Yeah, we actually we don't see a lot of them, so we try to partner with local churches and hand them off, so they have a community of people that they can start to kind of lean on and be part of their community, which that really helps us quite a bit. We actually have one lady working in the shop that we gifted a car to, and now she comes in and helps out the mechanics, and she's pretty knowledgeable of really what she's doing. So,
how cool is that?
She started out we gave her a car, and then if I remember right, she later donated that car back. So there's a really good example of give somebody the right hand up, and they go out and can establish themselves and become financially sound, and then she turn around and donate it back.
And I think you bring up a really good point that, you're local to the Houston area. And since we've been talking to you and everything, we've actually heard from other organizations similar. Particularly, there's one up in Ohio that we heard of from recently that, they're kind of in the same vein. I mean, they're still trying to do the same thing. So even though, we have a broad reach and we're talking about you here in Houston, there are, if you're in New Mexico, or we have people in California that listen to us pretty regularly, check around. There may be somebody close to you that is trying to do something to help their community as well.
There are,
trying to model what you're doing in another part of the country.
It's all over. Yep.
Yeah. So when I get this warehouse built down here, I think this is going to become the southern branch of God's Garage. We're going to try to broaden our footprint a little bit. It's for my business, which is unrelated to God's Garage. I'm a volunteer board chair, but I think we're going to put a lift in that down there, and I have a trailer and a truck down here, so we'll broaden our range of being able to pick up vehicles a little more easily in Galveston, Brazoria. Sugar Land's a stretch for us, but we will go there. We go there probably more than you would guess, but yeah, that's the idea, and maybe someday we'll kind of figure out how to franchise this. There is actually a God's Garage in Utah. They use our logo, but they're part of a church. They're not an individual organization. There's one in Indiana that we've talked to quite a bit. So there's a few around. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't get to see who just walked in.
We have the police are here to take Conrad away.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Again.
I'm glad I'm not there.
So we appreciate you guys partnering with us, and we very much appreciate Lupe Tortillas and Stan Holt and Sheila Holt partnering with you as well, because you're doing good things for people and helping their lives, helping them realize the value in their life and improving themselves. And as you said, some of them have come full circle and come back to you as well. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I appreciate what you guys have done for us, especially getting us introduced to Stan. I mean, obviously that came through Don and you guys, so thanks for doing that. We look forward to that partnership kind of getting going, weather permitting, and then we'll just move forward. But man, we always appreciate you guys having us on, and we'll talk to you again sometime soon.
Well, Brad, thank you very much. And again, sorry for today, but we're going to make it up to you guys, and stay in touch, and we'll let you know the next date.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brad.
It's always good to talk to
All
him.
right.
And it's always good to see the police.
Yeah.
Today, he's going by a name called David Ainsley. See him leaning in there, waving?
David, there's a headset in that top box there.
Mars didn't say anything anyway.
That's true.
That's
I
exactly.
was listening to
Why don't you just switch places?
Yeah, why don't you come over? What are you doing here?
I was
why are you
listening to
here?
the show
David?
earlier, and I about fell asleep, so I thought I'd come over here and wake
Help
the
us.
whole thing up. Holy cow.
He's been at Lupe Tortillas all morning waiting for us.
I was waiting for y'all.
Where are you guys?
Where you been?
I know.
Yeah, had my shirt on, everything. I was standing out
Well,
there.
I see that you
And
had
you
a
have
few
pants on,
Had
margaritas.
cocktails, sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Got a shirt on. You got
Had a
pants
couple of
on.
Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
Some tacos.
And memorandum of
Uh-huh.
the show.
Memorandum.
Well, it was it was a wake-up call for us this morning at whatever time it was, 4 a.m. with
when
the
the thunder and
boom
lightning.
over here. You get it down
Yeah.
there?
Well, I was over at my girlfriend's
I see.
5 miles away.
Yeah.
And, power went out, lightning,
Yeah.
waking up. So, yeah.
And then you walk in
That
the
was
door
more
with
exciting
Don's
than the show
girlfriend.
this morning, though.
By the way, it's time. We do have to do the show, but it's good to see you. So you just stay right there because you can participate.
Hang tight.
Unlike Mars.
Wait.
Hang tight.
Except you've missed the one part that is this. That's Mars.
Did you hear
Good job.
Mars's car review?
No, I missed that.
That's great.
That's
No,
probably
no, you
awesome.
didn't.
The In-Wheel Time race card is sponsored by Texas Nostalgia Modified Production. Conrad has the race card.
So, Four Wide Nationals is going on at the Strip in Las Vegas. Right now, Erica is qualified 9th, and if it doesn't change, she goes against Bo Butner, her teammate, in the first round. That won't be good. And then next weekend is a Circle K 4 Wide at ZMAX Dragway in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Gerber Collision and Glass Route 66 NHRA Nationals in, I guess that's Chicago area, is May 19th through the 21st. NASCAR is at Martinsville tomorrow, Talladega next week, Kansas the week after. Formula One is at Azerbaijan on April 30th, and then Miami on the 7th. Our friend Alex Udell is racing today at Long Beach, and then tomorrow is IndyCars at Long Beach.
Yep, cool.
So, lots of racing going on, and that's the racing card for the week.
Thank you. Mr. Dziekan
Yep.
has a very interesting feature for us today.
It's debatable.
And it's on Test Dummies, kind of like us here on the In-Wheel Time card.
We should have worn those little symbols on our foreheads.
Target.
Well, there you
things.
go.
Yeah.
Crash Test Dummies began in 1940. They were developed by the U.S. Air Force and used testing aircraft ejection seats. The first dummy was created by Sierra Engineering Company, Alderson Research Laboratories, named after the founder, Sam Alderson. The humanoid invention, Conrad, was aptly dubbed Sierra Sam. The first crash test dummies were done on unoccupied vehicles. This usually involved the driver jumping out of a moving vehicle before the collision, Mike, just like your reviews. Eventually, cadavers were used to allow researchers to see how crashes affected a human body.
Cadavers.
But dead bodies, of course, do not react the same way a living one, breathing one does, for that
Donate
matter.
my body to science.
Things were further complicated when testing progressed to include survivability, something that clearly could not be measured on a cadaver. Researchers eventually moved to using animal subjects, including primates and bears. The most commonly used animal was a pig, because of the fact that it had the same thoracic and abdominal organs as a human. While testing on living creatures provided new insight, the significant differences between a man and an animal prevented researchers from gaining practical crash test data. Better solutions were needed, Conrad. In 1968, Alderson debuted the first crash test dummy designed specifically for automotive testing. It was known as the VIP, short for Vehicular Impact Personnel, consisting of steeled rib cage, articulating joints, which you've had several of those, David, flexible neck and cavities to hold instrumentation. It was designed to mimic the acceleration and weight distribution properties of an average male, according to the American Physical Society. The VIP series, which again we know as the Vehicular Impact Personnel, expanded to include crash test dummies that represented large males and average-sized females. It goes on that in 1971, GM actually did most of the...
Boy, that was politically incorrect. Average size females.
Well, that's the way it is tested. So GM solved this before close of the decade with in the induction of the Hybrid 3. Not only was the most human-like crash test dummy ever made, it contained 41 different sensor channels of information. The Hybrid 2 had just 8, so they vastly improved it. Originally developed to replicate the average male, the Hybrid 3 line was expanded in the 80s to include large male and small female dummies. Child models were introduced in 1994.
And now they're used in an iPhone commercial as they roll that car and the iPhone says, "Oh, you've had a crash."
Yep. And why did this roll into a car review?
Well, that's Mars's car review. 8 minutes wasn't long enough.
Oh,
so
man.
we're going to do it again.
Wasn't paying attention. Wow.
If you must, David, you must go back and listen to the car review. Well, if you want to call it that. It was a ginormous mistake.
Really?
They just kept going on and on.
Really?
and
Sort of
on.
like my video went on to the car review. Why didn't you say something? Okay. Anyways,
just wanted
crash
to
test
see it
dummies.
again.
I got a good one for you next week. I've already got it planned out.
You want to tell us?
It has to do with combustion engines.
Okay.
Internal combustion engines.
Those are going away in 2030.
well.
They're not going to go away.
Well,
So
the EPA,
I
I heard the EPA this week said they were going to shut them all down.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
down.
Really?
No.
Depends on who the next president is.
Yeah, and they've come for your daughter, Chuck.
And let's pray that it's not that moron that we've got in the. I'm sorry.
Which one are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, I think you know. I don't have to expand on that. Speaking
Well,
of,
please do.
speaking of, U.S. Energy Department is proposing an update to a decades-old calculation that determines the petroleum equivalent fuel economy of electric vehicles for NHTSA's fuel economy standards. I've complained about this every single time I get an electric vehicle.
And they were listening to you.
Apparently not. But somebody goosed them up and said, oh, well, maybe we need to look at this. The proposed rulemaking is in response to a 2021 petition submitted by two environmental groups, the Natural Resources Defense Council and Sierra Club, which argued the calculation is outdated and resulted in significantly inflated EV fuel economy values. For example, applying the current calculation to a 2022 Ford F-150 Lightning electric pickup results in a rating equivalent of about 238 miles per gallon.
Whoa.
Under the proposed rulemaking, which lowers the petroleum equivalency factor for EVs to 23,160 watt hours per gallon
What?
from 82,049, the rating would be reduced to about 67.
This is a
miles per
perfect
gallon.
lead into my segment when time comes.
I was going to say, because that's not happening now, because we're going to take a break.
No, I know.
Okay. Because we know that you like to use not only your segment time, but everybody else's segment time.
We're actually in the
It's
next
okay.
week's
That's
time
smart,
with you.
right?
And Mars does that in the car review. Yeah, the 4-minute car review turned into an 8.5-minute car review today.
And then it rolled into mine.
That's why I'm here. Just try to save the show.
Oh,
Thank
boy.
you for that. I appreciate it. The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for N-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and NWheelTime.com.
We do.
And podcasts are at your fingertips on over a dozen of the most popular podcast outlets. The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Lupe Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise in date right here on N-Wheel Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupe Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6 or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Lupe's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Lupe Tortilla. Lupe Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Lupe Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then.
Mecum Auctions, the world's largest collector car auction company, returns to Houston, April 13th through 15th at NRG Center. Featuring 2,000 muscle cars, Corvettes, exotics, customs, and more. Broadcast live on Motor Trend TV and Motor Trend Plus. From avid collectors to those new to the Mecum experience, we welcome everyone. Register to bid now at Mecum.com.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.